Um, I wonder if anyone has made this like a Twilight Imperium match where you try to sell off the band rights, you know? Like, hey, Momo, if you don't play Catgirl again, I'll let you make my band. Okay, we have the Long Yaos coming out in force. We also, yeah, Nangong Shen again, two players. And CJ was sufficiently discouraged by going eighth that that they're going to change it up to the vaguely related Chi Wang Yao.
Interesting swap to Chi Wang Yo there. I think that Chi Wang Yo play is really excellent. I wonder if they were just running running Nangong Zhong because it's like, well, this seems like the better character.
I also want to pause and take note that our Lee Man player, he ran it back, but we've gained a second Lee Man.
Right,
I think it
yeah.
was one of the former Tantrions. Also, there's a cat girl in the lobby.
Mm-hmm.
Easy if you don't read Chinese to assume that the cat girl ran it back. They did not.
They did not.
This is not Momo playing cat.
Yeah.
Momo selected for a Long Yao swap. So one of the Long Yaos is our previous win.
Yes. Second from the left, Momo is one of our previous winners. Got side jobs here, which let me see if I can get this out. Not really. That's okay. We'll figure it out on the fly. We can see that we have Xian is running back Plant Master, musician Long Yao for Momo. It's an interesting choice, an off-meta choice. One Lee Man picking up Regenerating Body, the other more interested in Counter Move. Counter Move a very strong card, especially through the early and late game. We have musician CJ, not musician CJ, musician Catgirl with no
I can
Mirage.
definitely see looking at Counter Move pretty fondly when you see a cat girl in your lobby.
Sure. So we have we have a musician Catgirl who took no Mirage here, so they're just playing like straightforward sword intent Catgirl. Would be my assumption from there.
Yes. I mean, you could say that no Mirage theoretically doesn't bias them between the Cloud Sword Dharma versus Sword Intent, but Musician sure biases them towards Sword Intent. You're not playing Cloud Sword Dharma without the chases, and you don't pick Musician to not predicament someone.
Also, immediately picking up Recuperate on tier 2. Just saying that this is what we're gonna be doing. Yeah, it's time for some kindness tune gaming.
Oh,
So
it makes so much sense, right? You won the first one. If you see a Recuperate on 2, you snap it up, you take Dragon Scales, you say, ha 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 ha, I'm gonna go AFK on round 10 and still get like 3rd place. And I have a 1st place, so you cannot stop me from advancing.
I appreciate your enthusiasm for the plan. Unfortunately, the Recuperate was not on Momo, it was on our Cactus.
Oh, okay.
Momo going for the more classic ignore defense on the musician Long Yao. I did see that they have clicked on the tier 2 sword formation Mirage. The card's so bad, I can't remember what it's called. Consonant sword formation. So their musician consonant sword formation Long Yao, which is
I want to be clear to the chat, the base form so bad we can't remember what it's called. The Mirage form is a real card.
Yeah, and I think it's a card that is somewhat underrated just because it was sort of like changed late in the season. And I think changed from a version that was unplayable to a version that's actually kind of absurd. And I think maybe
Oh, yeah.
we haven't really reckoned with just how absurd it is, because it was like there's this sort of like a anchoring issue where people still sort of think of the old one even though they know it's not the same anymore.
Definitely. I think the card can be outright oppressive. It's very easy to underestimate. I mean, anyone who's hung out in stream chat, they've seen me playing it on Boy Yi Fang. It's a tricky one to beat.
Yeah. What does the card do now, Collector Ray? Is it every 4 defense turns into 1 chi?
Yes, it creates a bunch of block. The amount depends on the level of the card, and then it gives you 1 chi for every 4 defense. Notably, Surreal said that it turns the defense into chi.
Right,
it just generates the chi. You keep the defense.
Yeah. So it's kind of a similar sort of effect as the old Azure sword formation, except instead of sword defense, instead of sword intent, it gives you chi, which is more broadly applicable.
Yes. And you might think, oh, but at least I can like ice guard the Dharma, right? Whereas it was harder to ice guard the Azure Dragon versions of the board.
Mm-hmm.
Can you really? Because I gotta inform you, these boards make a lot of block, and they often just get you with the second Dharma.
The opposite of
I
what
once killed someone with the fourth Dharma on this.
Yeah, kind of the opposite of what Raven does.
Yeah, that's a definitely a good way to state that.
So this is interesting. Lee-Man picking double regen body over the tier 2 and the tier 3. What do you think of that, Titania?
Over tier 2 and tier 3. I'm very sympathetic to it over tier 2. I know that people love to talk up counter move because everyone who is a counter move player sometimes gets super awesome counter moves, and this perhaps eclipses their vision of the average counter move. I think counter move is a great card, especially for P2, but regenerating body sure is regenerating body. On the other hand, I think because you don't see it in one flashy go, it's very easy for people to underestimate how huge an HP swing Lee-Man's tier 3 is. You would not catch me skipping it for regenerating body.
Yeah.
Especially if I had regenerating body, right? If you already have it, it's very difficult to fall behind on physique.
Yeah, I mean,
so at that point, what benefit are you really getting? You're getting a few heals, which is certainly equates like that. There's just no universe where the regen body equates to a larger HP difference in one singular combat than Lee-Man's tier 3. So at that point, what are you saying? Like that it's extra physique for the RKP board? It's just, okay, I guess, but you probably save as much HP as the extra damage you would have dealt. I think it's okay, I know that casters maybe are supposed to talk up the players, always be supportive of their interesting choices. I think it's a mistake. That's what I think.
I think that's reasonable. I'm inclined to agree. I think his tier 3 is kind of absurd. So I would not be taking regen body over it. Especially, I think, so this Lee-Man has gone with the Crash Fist Entangle as well. That part of that board's strength is that all those little extra hits benefit from your tier 3. The Entangle adds a whole bunch of extra attacks that do like no damage unless your opponent has the wounds, which it provides, but that one attack up that he gets from his tier 3, or effective one attack up, goes really far with the Entangle damage. Contributes quite a lot to its like what makes it so hard to defend against, because like you're just getting whittled down by so many hits.
For sure. I think actually a good comparison, if you are thinking, oh, second regen body is going to make my RKP nuts. Remember that 2 Quees usually take their P3 ability, and that always end in RKP, right? And Lee-Man's is like just the good half of 2 Quees P3 ability.
The good half, and then a whole other extra half as well, if you want that.
Well, yeah, but you can't collect them both at the same time.
That's true.
You flip flop which version you want. Either way, it's saving 1 on hits or 1 in your favor per hit. Whereas 2 Kui has the upside and the downside, and it's still like popular on those types of boards.
So Siu sitting pretty at the top of the lobby at 108 Destiny. I think that extra Destiny came from a Mirage initial pick. And they have managed to hold on to that. Momo taking Dragon Scales.
Okay.
Believe Momo taking Dragon Scales? Maybe it's this Long Yao that took Dragon Scales, actually. I'm not 100% sure if Momo took Dragon Scales. But it would make some amount of sense from their position.
Yeah, having the win under your belt definitely makes it attractive to just, go second or third.
Mm-hmm.
And I think important to note, I don't believe there's any kind of seeding advantage for making it out of this group in first place today. Is there? I think that just making it out is as good as anybody else who makes it out.
Yeah, that's my understanding. Alright. We're seeing a breakthrough, we're picking up some spirit sword formation stuff here. I'm assuming there is a Spirit Edge sword in our pool. Ah, there it is. It's no longer in our pool, it's in our hand.
Oh, it's still in the pool. I have a feeling there will be many more Spirit Touch swords to make it into the hand this game.
Always at least one more. So this is, I guess this is the impact of banning Lu Jianxin, right? Is the person who was playing Lu Jianxin is now playing a different Spirit Edge sword character.
Yeah, Chihaya just swapped out the face.
Yeah.
Right? Same board, new face.
Don't get the big sword, but they have the advantage of all the other good things Long Yao has going for him. Seeing CJ navigate their tier 4 breakthrough, rolling very, very far down here. Basically to nothing.
I actually wonder a little bit. There was a ban on Lu Jianxin, right?
Correct.
But how much more or less effective is it to just ban the Spiritage sword card?
Yeah.
Do you think this is enough to just dissuade someone from playing the character this season? That's basically all the Lu Jianxins I'm seeing.
That was kind of my thinking, is if you're gonna ban Lu Jianxin, maybe you're better off just banning Spiritage sword, so that, if it's not Long Yao, then even like Mui Feng can play Spiritage sword too. Like there's no shortage of opportunities to play Spiritage sword if that's the thing you really want to be doing. Whereas just banning out the Spiritage sword is maybe a safer bet if that's what you're trying to curb. Like you said, Lu Jianxin's not doing much else this season.
I definitely think that it feels like the more effective version of that ban, but I also do have to acknowledge it's trading unlike resources, right? Like then you don't get to ban some other Mirage.
Yes.
Maybe instead of banning Fleche, you have to ban Zhang Jimeng and face down Feng Shu's Fleche.
Yeah, exactly. Sio's Destiny is going up. They're up to 110 now. In a much better spot this game. The Li Mans and Long Yao's kind of battling it out at the bottom of the lobby, the middle of the lobby rather. Okay.
So my understanding, CU, I think at the start of the game took the Mirage option that was plus 10 Destiny, plus 2 max HP, right?
Yes, that's my understanding.
And I think they managed to lose 2 of that Destiny in an early round, and I think we just saw them eat a Destiny elixir, because remember from last game, CU is our elixir.
I think your sleuthing is probably correct. I think that's exactly what's happened. I haven't seen Siu's board in a while. I mean, I can kind of guess what it looks like based on the fact that they're at 110 and playing Nangongshang. But it would be I would be curious to see what they put together thus far.
I predict it has secret wood seal.
Yeah, I reckon. It might.
Bold call, I know.
So this is the double regen body Li Man. I believe both Li Mans are on Entangle. So I haven't
Are,
seen that for sure out of the other Lee Man.
do we know if they're both on Plant Master?
I believe yes. This one definitely is, and the other one's on Entangle, so I'm fairly sure they're both Plant Master.
Okay, okay.
Even though I don't think I've seen plants out of him. Alright, so CJ doing their World Smash mid-game transit.
Do they have the M Cosmos seal tech that I like so much? If so, that makes this transit, that much better. You don't even have to spike a UWF to keep playing on P5.
I do believe
You
CJ
just
is a proponent of M Cosmo Seal, so I imagine they've probably got it, but I haven't seen it for sure.
I'm gonna shill this tech to your chat for just a moment.
Sure.
So yeah, you can have a strong mid game with World Smash that easily transits on P5 because you just find an Cosmos, and your World Smash board is still good for several more rounds. But also remember that Chiwang Yus want to they want to be on UWF. But they also only want to be on 2 elements, ideally, which means they really need a level 2 UW. But not if there's an M Cosmos seal.
Does that Lee Man have a...
now...
Does that Lee Man have a rabbit? Sorry. Sorry to interrupt your pitch, Titania. I think this Lee Man might have a rabbit.
No. It's okay. These are not equally exciting things.
So you just said they didn't play much season, found out the 20 a few days prior. Ah, interesting.
Well, CJ certainly picked the right character for ignoring season mechanics.
Yeah. Mirage continues to do the Illusion Tune thing. 76 Destiny with Dragon Scale is not a bad place to be. They have now so it was broken through, picked up their Dharma, so they're just looking for that consonant sword formation, and then they're ready to start moving away from the Illusion Tune stuff into consonant sword formation. The Illusion Tune
they
stuff...
had to be feeling fantastic. They got to lock the Dharma.
Yeah, definitely. And the other thing about the constant sword formation is that it's not like a it's not like you play it at the exclusion of Illusion Tune necessarily. Turns out Illusion Tune just works out really well. Also, drawing 2 Rule Skies and a Chainsword on Breakthrough. Now, I mean, I can't ask for too much more. I mean, maybe not staring down the cat. Oh, there's the rabbit. Yeah, okay. So, Force Fist with rabbit. Pretty good. You pay a lot of HP to deploy your cards.
Aw, it's the cute little murder bunny.
Yeah, both Long Yars getting quite strong this turn. Ocean fighting Seal. They've drawn their UWF as expected. The Space Spirit Field is here as well.
Nangong Shen in round 11. Always said fun.
They are fighting the other Nangong Sheng though, and the other Nangong Sheng is Elixirist, which I think's actually probably got the advantage on round 11 because Vine is not up yet. You can play your
yes,
your side job cards.
Vine's not up yet, but Talon Elixir sure is.
Interesting. So Seal with a level 1 Wood Seal suggests that they actually did not have... Oh wait, no, I'm looking at the wrong person. No, Seal's got the level 1 Wood Seal. Getting confused about who is who. Yes, Seal with level 1 Wood Seal suggests that in fact they were winning without it, or opted to not draw another one. That's probably not what happened.
That seems highly unlikely.
Yeah, just barely not clearing the revive there. Level 2 UWF though, that is very helpful in these fights that drag on a little bit.
Definitely.
Alright. One Lee Man looking pretty low. CJ's World Smash board just trucking along nicely. Looks like we're starting to make the swap to this UWF that we've drawn.
That makes a lot of sense.
Jiwangyo, a character that can definitely chew through UWF charges.
Like no other. And again, that's one of the reasons I'm shilling the Cosmos Seal.
Yeah, definitely.
Another property I really like is that you can the two most classic boards to see. There's one that offers the turn 3 kill potential, but then it has no chi to spare after, and the board is just kind of over normally. Well, what if the end of the board you just add a Cosmos seal into a World Smash? Right? This is like a great extension, and then it just hits them hard every single turn. If they play to survive the turn 3 kill, you could just keep killing them the turn after.
Speaking of hitting hard every turn, this board is just mono entangle. Sorry, I had to stifle my laughter when I looked over at the board and it was Rabbit, Crash Chitadama, continue. It's just not even continuing something. But now we're just continuing the multi hits from the entangle.
I mean, hashtag rabbit things.
I'm not sure if this board is good. Is this board good?
The continual effect of the entangle only is to perform 2 more hits for 3, right? It's not adding additional wounds.
I think this Lee Man is doing more damage to himself than to Seo.
Oh, gotta be, right? You did 22 per turn.
Okay. That was not that impressive.
Oh, Leo Panther, you got the best one on the first try. Congrats to you.
Alright, Musician Catgirl taking loss. Still Kindness Tune in play. Still trying to get their board together. One Entangly Man is out. Had to stare down Momo's fairly terrifying board.
Extra terrifying because you know that the wounds you've added aren't, they're not all bad in this matchup.
Yeah. Also, like,
you might think, that I can punch the defense off of her and keep the mirror flowers smaller. But also, I gotta be a little skeptical on that because you do so much damage to yourself with Crash Fist that you think she doesn't need the biggest mirror flower to kill you.
Exactly. Like, just spending all that HP to try to chunk through, such high amounts of defense. Like, eventually the Crash Fist board gets enough upgrades that the equation tips the other way, but right now you are really just like spending HP for HP. It's not really working out in your favor at this stage of the game. So the other Long Yao has upgraded their bracelet, which is a pretty nice little boon for them. Their boards look quite strong too.
Did they have some fancy way to make that happen, or did they just naturally rip Enlightenment on it?
I think they just slammed an Elixir. It's possible there was a Mirage we haven't seen, but I haven't seen anybody like starting fights with Weaken or Internal Injury or something, which tends to be the ones that cause that effect.
And they have the M Spiritage sword, so we know they didn't take the Mer People Pearl.
Yeah. So Combined Worlds.
By the way.
Yeah, go ahead.
I was just anyone listening in chat. Mer People Pearl on Long Yao, very fun. You just have 2 bracelets. People always talk about the finishing touch, upgrading the bracelet, getting maybe even the coveted level 3 bracelet. Yeah, well, what if you had like multiple level 2 bracelets?
So Seo is out of UWF here, and it's looking like it's going to be pretty costly to kind of struggling to keep up with the bracelet now. This Combined World's not going to tank this E-Grid, unfortunately. But Seo's got some Destiny to play with. CJ now on Death's Door here. Really wants that UWF to upgrade.
Is 30 5 enough to... can they be knocked out here? I think they are going to live with a small amount of destiny.
I think we're watching the replay of the last round where they lost to Jianxin and dropped down.
So we are. Okay. Apologies.
Oh, good. So we have Plant and Gongsheng. Their Vine is up. We have Musician, Cat Girl here. I'm assuming we're in the middle of making a board because this one doesn't do anything. Illusion Tune. Momo has got the consonants, so their Dharma plan is fully accessible now. We're back on Rabbit. Man, I think this Rabbit plan makes more sense. Just blow them
hey,
up with
we made the punches hurt this time.
yeah. Now we've kind of got somewhere.
And they have the Crash Fit split in there as well, which is a really important tech with all the defense sloppy. The double long yows. There's the Cat Girl. I believe has like rule skies for it. I'm not sure.
Yeah, they do. So a very, very welcome piece of tech. Ice Guard Elixir, not really lining up super well. This bracelet will do a little bit better. Looks like they're just sort of trying to layer defensive consumes while their board does what it needs to do. I don't know about that chase into chase though.
It's a little interesting. I would have expected the rule sky to come after the Ice Guard.
I think they were actually really close to if their chases had worked out equally, I think maybe the Egret kills the Nangong and then the chase the Quen into the Spirited Sword takes out the revive, but as a result they were just turned too slow. So costly sequencing error there.
Come on, CJ, don't take a 7th after your 8th. You can do it.
Open for a CJ rally. The Lee Man has got they're entangling. They've got their entangling engine online. So double Vine plus Crash Fist Entangle adds up to quite a lot of wounds. Still staring down a bunch of people who make a lot of defense, where it's not quite at its best. But a very, very strong board. Double Vine does a lot of work.
I was lamenting that CJ might get a 7th after his 8th, but I do want to take a moment and point out the inverse of that is what has happened to our Lee-Man player. They went out 7th last lobby and now have gone out 8th.
Rough run. Multiple people getting 7th can do interesting, like finishing in like the later places can do interesting things to the scoreboard for other players though. It means they're not eating up a lot of points that people might need to catch up to early winners. So I'm interested to see how it shakes out over the next game and a half. Alright, we have 1 Vine. We have 2 Vines.
All the Vines.
Notably, not quite enough upgrades on the Blink to full chase here. The board is a little bit clunky here. There, 8 wounds is just new owners. Also, they're not playing their stick. I think stick is usually a better last piece than like another Crash Fist because it kind of fixes up your board for second cycle. But good enough to win that one.
Well, maybe the calculus in their mind was, do I play the stick versus the space spiritual field?
Potentially, yeah.
If that's how they were reasoning about it, they did get on the correct end of that. They won without beating the stick, so
sure.
They did get to farm their plants.
Alright, Siu falls to CJ, so CJ is still fighting. One of the Long Yaos categorically now facing elimination. Momo with a very scary board here for CJ. Just a anti-chase illusion tune, make 5 billion chi, and play a Dharma for your opponent's life and mortgage. The lobby's actually shaken out to a pretty even spread of Destiny now. I think like Momo, Seal, and Lily Mana all probably got one more loss to give. Orshin, the other Nanagokshan, is borderline. I'm not sure. Looks like the kindness tune is gone from Lin Xiaoya, so Catsoul Bless could give them another round. I'm sure Momo's hoping to draw a Destiny Elixir. Oh no, they're illusionists, of course they can't.
Yeah, they can't, but I was about to say, so unfortunate how the numbers shook out if you have Dragon Scales being at 35 instead of 37.
Maybe there'll be a small Destiny Mirage they can pick up. Alright, so the anti-chase prediction incorrect by Orshin. Let's see if this apparition confusion can get the job done. It looks like yes, because that is exactly 15. Alright.
Yep.
Still alive.
I've definitely pulled this tech a lot with Li Chengyan. The apparition confusion is less about killing the first time, and more about making him bleed out himself on the second, for his second life.
So despite getting predicamented, CJ is able to win their fight. So everybody's still alive. Everybody is still kicking.
Wait, Loma must not have Dragon Scales. He went down to 12 that round.
I must have read incorrectly. It's confusing that they're both using the same Long Yao outfit. I feel like we should coordinate our colors a little bit here.
It sure is, and it's also confusing that when that normally when you play Yi Xian, when you're looking at your own board, you have visual confirmation of this. But like the observer looking at someone's board, we can't actually tell which Long Yao they're looking at.
It's really hard. You have to like look up at the bar at the top and see where the eye is, and yeah, at like a glance, it's
the eye icon.
Yeah,
okay.
But it's difficult because you're used to looking at like the crossed swords to see who you're fighting. So like you look for that first, and then it bounces around all over the place. So, yeah, it's difficult. But this is
Well, I learned something today.
One of the fan favorites is about to be eliminated here. Seal facing Momo. Probably looking at three to four people getting eliminated here.
Momo's board has 4 apparition confusions.
It does. It's a plan. Yep. It's a plan.
Oh, it is. It sure is.
Wow, so you took a minus 20 HP Mirage. I guess they figure that the Dharma's gonna kill them no matter what.
That Mirage is specifically minus 20 HP for 5 exchange chances, I believe.
Yeah.
And yeah, Dharma does have a way of doing either 0 or infinity damage.
Yeah, but unfortunately that is not what Seo was facing, so Momo gets to live to fight another day. Seo is out.
This cat board is one of the boards of all time.
Catsoul Bless doing what Catsoul Bless does, so only one person got eliminated. Ow. Incredible stuff. Now we're seeing the fun of Rabbit versus Vine. You sure get entangled twice by the Vine.
Yep.
Well, the Nangong, they're also having access to a hexproof plant, which I imagine they're probably keeping for the entangle board, but not ending up being necessary. Now we have... This time 3 people are getting eliminated. This time I'm sure 3 people are getting eliminated. I don't see a way... don't see a way out of this one.
what if the Mirage that's currently active, since neither of us can read Chinese, is the one that has the option to two of the choices set your destiny to 1 for a pretty extreme benefit, and the other one says you take no destiny damage this round.
It is possible. It is possible 3 people will take 0 destiny damage this round. It's not entirely impossible, but I don't think
That's the only way out I can find.
I don't think that's what we're gonna see. Well, we'd know if it gave 20 destiny, Bogolo, because someone would have gained 20 destiny. Alright, predicament down. What have we got? Okay, always good when you don't get to chase into your predicament because your opponent is predicamenting.
Oh goodness.
This is a musician
this
matchup of all time.
Not going this cat girl's way.
No. Alright, so guitarist is down. Jianxin is no vine. I was gonna say it looks like they're much further into their board than the Long Yao, but I think that's just because the Long Yao's just playing their board slowly. So they're out 2. So 1 Long Yao, 1 cat girl, and the Li Man are all out. So CJ kind of wrecking house at the moment.
I mean, he finally has the tools that you pay the Chihuahua Yao tax, right? That she has to hit so many pieces to play her game in the late game.
Once you do, she's a monster.
Yep.
Okay, so we have a musician and a vine Nangongchong. Long Yao is fighting Momo is fighting Ocean's Ghost. So they get to shadow box here, which has got to be pretty good when you have a predicament. CJ, on the other hand, is going to be staring down an entangling vine and needs to figure out a way around this. I don't know if it's just run into it. Looks like it might just be run into it. They may have eaten their cards to make sure that they can outspeed the Billy Man last fight.
Yeah, predicament truly is one of the freest ways there is to win against a ghost. So I imagine we're going to see Momo make it to the top 2 here.
I think so, yeah. Alright, so here comes the vine. Just eating it. I think, unfortunately, it's probably going to be too much here. It's a coin flip on speed. I mean, this just deletes CJ. CJ went first and gets to run out that combined worlds before the prairie comes down. It might have been a very different story.
They only get to run out one of the 2 combined worlds, but I suppose the second one needs the follow-up after that. I'm not confident
Sure, that's
that
fair.
CJ can win going first, but it's... I'm not confident either way, is what I should say.
Yeah, fair enough. This fight between Momo and Child Ghost, kind of close. Kind of close, actually.
But it is funny the way musicians get to smurf on ghosts.
For sure. Alright, what are we doing for our final here? Respect the decision to not play into predicament. Curious to see what Momo does here. I also
looking like that's a predicament, so Momo could be on the winning end.
I also like cutting the predicament. I think that's pretty solid. Pretty solid reasoning here. You know, we're also trying to be fine. Maybe not.
If it were me, I would be going no predicament, yes Rupt Sprite. I find that Rupt Sprite, I said this earlier, cards for the board to play around. And also, everyone expects predicament. And some people expect Rupt Sprite. Some people.
Yeah, fair enough.
Though it's often easier to expect the Rupt Sprite when you can literally definitely see it on the board they played last round against Yurgos.
True,
So,
true. Well, it looks like we're running the reasonable amounts of defense followed up by Apparition Confusion's line. These Apparition Confusions currently out damaging the attacks from the Nangongshang.
it looks like the Woqian here played around both the Rup Sprite and the Predicament and is just gonna get donked on because Momo chose the third option.
Yeah, they did not get through that defense before the damage comes down, and that's it. Wow, Momo taking down second lobby.